Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of this story. I know I didn't sleep as long as usual, but since I am wide awake, do you want do you say we search a bit deeper about the Jian family? Maybe some things might trigger something in your mind. Jungkook, that sounds like a good idea as long as you are feeling up to it. Hey, of course I am. Both men sat down in front of the laptop and started searching for anything and everything they possibly could about the Jian family. For one, they both realized that Jacob's family had money and they had lots of it. The money pool flows from both sides of Jungkook's parents. Their family had their names and pretty much every industry, food, travel and transportation. They also found out that the auntie who came to the hospital had tried to kill Jungkook was his stepmother. She came into the marriage after the mysterious death of Jungkook's mom in the car crash. There were controversy about that and well because according to the article they were reading, she claimed that the two kids she had were fathered by Jungkook's dad and had DNA test done to show as proof she used to be Jungkook's father's secretary. So most people believed her story had also Jungkook's dad was surrounded by scandal and war. So this also added to her story. The pair got married 1 year after Jungkook's mom passed away, and it seems Jungkook's family had his mom. What seems to be clear about Jungkook's mom's maiden surname was in actually fact in Jungkook's first thought was again how did the director know to give Jungkook this name. It can be the coincidence he didn't realize this, but made a mental note to ask the director about it. It seems that after the Jungkook family determinated that control the partnership from the Jian family to Jungkook businesses were not doing very well until recently. 5 years ago, someone took over the running of the business and in only a single year managed to not only become the biggest competitor to the Jian Empire but took over first position as most sought after companies. Since then, the jungle companies has had no rivals in stock. The mystery was that there is no mention anywhere to as who took over the businesses. No investors, no article, no news, nothing. It couldn't have been the only child they had was Jungkook's mom. Could it be that you were the one that inherited the jungle business? JK, I have no idea at all. I mean, I would explain by someone who's trying to kill me. From the age of 19 after my mom died, it would need someone with money to fake my death and forget death certificate, someone with equal standing with the Jian family to buy so many people, including the press, to report about your death without actual facts, right? JK, right? But we can't prove any of this because even after reading so many articles, I can't remember. Jungkook didn't even finish his statement. His mind was suddenly taken back to a day back when he was young. Jungkook was waiting as usual as the front gate for the driver to come pick him up when he saw his mother's car down the road towards him. It was a school break, and as soon as the car stopped, his mom yelled through the window, "Jungkook, quickly get inside the car!" Without hesitation, Jungkook jumped into the car as he was instructed. "Okay, mom, what is going on? Why are you scaring me? Why are you acting like this? Where is the driver? Do you even have a driving license?" "Mom, I don't have time to explain all these details right now. All I need is for you to be safe. So you have to do everything I say without questioning me, okay?" "JK, all this is scary, Mom. What's going on?" "Mom, I am taking you to the airport. That brown envelope in the backseat. Take it and open it." Inside, Jungkook found a new password with his new name and lots of money. "JK, Mom, what is this all, Mom? You need to go far from here. We need to be apart and never see each other again, or until everything is safe again. You need to live well and stay safe at the airport. You will need someone who you will address as uncle. That man has already made all the arrangements for you. I don't know where he will take you, but I trust him and keep you safe while I drop you off. Leave your wallet and phone with me." Jungkook's mind couldn't keep up with everything that was happening, and before he could make sense of anything that was going on, his mom told him to go out of the car. "Mom, this is not time to hesitate, Jungkook. Know that I love you very much, and if there was another way to keep you safe and keep you with me, I would." That's where his memory cut, and the last thing he saw was his mom's tear-filled face and her bearing at him and speeding off again. "Hey, Jungkook, hey, open your eyes!" Then quickly reached for his phone and called for an ambulance. Jungkook opened his eyes. "Okay, I wasn't in the car that day because my mom dropped me off at the airport. She knew something bad was going to happen. She was scared, panicked, and she knew we were never going to see each other again. She didn't tell me what was going on. I think someone killed my mom and made it look like an accident." Did you remember all that just now, JK?" "Yes, unfortunately, that's all. I don't know who uncle is or why I had to go into hiding. Only when Taekook was struggling with getting Jungkook off the floor did Jungkook realize that he was no longer sitting next to Taekook. "JK, what happened? Why am I on the floor and wet?" "Taekook, you fainted and started showing signs of it. Lasted about 5 minutes. JK, is that going to happen every time I remember something?" "I'm not sure. I would have to take you back to the hospital to run some tests to be certain. Maybe we missed something. You seem to have a blockage somewhere or a break in communication in your brain. I can only know for sure after we take a look inside. What happened now would be very dangerous if it happens when you were out walking or when you were home alone." Jungkook didn't remember much, but enough to know that he would stop at nothing until he destroyed everything and everything responsible for the look he saw on his mother's face. The last thing was very worried about Jungkook's health after the afternoon incident, even though Jungkook kept assuring him over and over again that he felt fine. Jungkook didn't want to go back to the hospital because he feared that with all the attention he gets from all the nurses, he will put his effort with them in vain. That was not the only reason. He also had a bad feeling that going back there, he felt like it was all luck that day he was not discovered the first time, and now knowing how much reach both families of his family had, he was concerned about Taekook's safety. Taekook's days off went past without much drama. Jungkook didn't remember anything else. Taekook kept bringing Jungkook to let him run more tests on kept begging Jungkook to let him run more tests on him, and when Jungkook refused all his effort, Taekook was concerned about Jungkook's health, and Jungkook said no because he was concerned about their safety. It was a tug of war between the two, and neither was willing to give up. And Jungkook, I need to go work tonight. At least consider coming with me. I will do everything myself, and the nurses you are worried about wouldn't even be there, JK. I feel great. Hey, is that what I am scared of? What if it happens when I am not around? What if I saw as a doctor who deals with head trauma was not good at all? JK, I get that, but think about it. There was a lot of things that happens that day. I was stressed and overwhelmed, and we can even say very emotional, so that could have triggered the because my body was already there. That's not comforting at all. As a doctor, hearing this, it tells me that something is wrong. People don't just have because they were overwhelmed. If that happens again and you are alone, okay, I get that, and believe it or not, I feel the same way about you. Taekook stood there staring at Jungkook and realized that this man was extremely extravagant. Jungkook was not easily to swayed at all. Okay, have it your way. Just call me if anything happens. Okay, Jungkook didn't remember the state if he was in when that happened, but one this was clear to him, and that was he wouldn't be able to call if that happened again. Even after he came out of it, he stayed confused and for a long time, but for Taekook's peace of mind, he promised anyway. Okay, I will call you, I promised. They went shopping that day before, and the one thing that was on top of Taekook's shopping list was to get a cell phone for Jungkook. After Jungkook getting lost the other day, Taekook didn't want to risk another episode that could potentially have the consequences. He also brought him clothes and shoes. Taekook left for work, and Jungkook was left alone with a list of commands that he had to swear never to break. Don't leave the house without telling me. Don't open the door for anyone. Don't. It made him feel like a child left alone at home. Of course, Jungkook promised because Taekook looked like he wouldn't leave if he didn't promise. Jungkook sat down on the couch to plan his day. At least that's the last thing he remembered doing before he found himself in the body of his younger self. JK, Uncle Dang, do you think I will ever see my mom again? I don't know. Darling man, but with everything going on right now, I wish your mom would have just let me take her with me as well. She can't go to war with so many people alone. Jungkook, what is going on? Dong, didn't your mom tell you? JK, no, she didn't tell me anything. I am not a child anymore. I am 19 years years old and I can handle stuff. Dong, I'm sorry again, but there are things that parents cannot involve their kids in. All I can say is that your mom found things you can't stay silent about, but I don't think odds are in her favor. JK, what things, Dong, that I cannot tell you when you are a full-grown adult. You will find out for yourself, JK. Uncle Don, I am scared. It feels like I am in a movie, like I am watching all these things happen and I don't have any power to change anything. Don, you might not be able to do anything right now, but I promise that I will make sure you can do a lot of damage in the future. All you need to do is trust me. Jungkook trusted Dong. This is a man who has been always by his side. He was his mother's most trusted bodyguard. It's not a record, but in action, Dong was always at his mother's side. He is the one who taught Jungkook most of what he knows. Most important, Jungkook knew him as his adopted uncle and less like a bodyguard. There were days when people doubted his purity of Dong and Jungkook's mom's relationship, but Jungkook knew it. He saw the way they were with each other. It really was a relationship between siblings. Okay. Do you trust your uncle? Good. That's all I needed from you. The flight they were on very long, but Jungkook never bothered to ask where they were going. His heart was racing from the knowledge that he might never see his mom again. His mom was always by his side no matter what was happening. She never missed anything that Jungkook was a part of. Jungkook, whether it was school practice, basketball practice, graduation, nothing. His father, on the other hand, was never around. He was always working, or even when he was home, he was still working. He did, however, encourage Jungkook to be anything he wanted to be, but Jungkook always got a feeling his father never knew how to be a dad. And very early on, Jungkook knew that his parents' marriage was not for love but convenience and opportunity. When the plane landed, Jungkook noticed he was in Germany. He did know a bit of German because of his uncle Dong. His mom told him at one point that Uncle Dong stayed in Germany until Jungkook was born. His mom needed someone she could trust with her son. She called Dong to come back to Korea. This time the flashback lasted for what felt like hours. And when he finally came back he was still sitting on the couch. The difference was that it was dark outside, which indicated that the flashback he just had was indeed hours long. He wasn't confused this time. He was able to remember most of the childhood and happy years and he had with his mom. He remembered everything about his time with Uncle Dong as well. When they got to Germany, his uncle became very strict. His university life was also strictly monitored, and he didn't have many friends because his uncle didn't trust people easily. His uncle taught him everything about investing, taking advantage of Yes, he did remember finding out about his mom's passing as well, not from his uncle but from the news. His uncle was in the bed sick for a longer time after his mom passed. That was the first time Jungkook suspected that maybe his uncle felt more for his mom that he cared to admit. It was like a part of him died as well. After that, his uncle became full of everything was aimed at destroying people. He raised him like a well-built weapon against his father and everyone around him. Jungkook sat on the one spot, filtering and sorting through all the new memories when the phone suddenly rang. JK, hello. Oh, sorry. I took a nap. I left the phone on the couch. Sorry about that, JK. Hey, really? Why did you hesitate then, JK? I literally just woke up. This was not a lie. He actually just came back to reality only a few minutes ago. Hey, your voice does sound a bit weird. Okay, did you have a good nap? You were aware that it's probably not a good idea to take a nap at bedtime, right? When Jungkook finally glanced at the time, he realized that it was 10 p.m. Jungkook hated lying to them, but he hated making them worry even more. So instead of telling him the fact, he told her a lie. JK, it's fine. I am sure I will still have good sleep tonight because I spoke to you. Okay, what a way to changing the direction of the conversation after a long pause. Then finally broke the silence. Hey, you need to rest so that you don't trigger any more worrying symptoms. Okay, JK. Okay, I will. Okay, do you remember the name of the guy who was piloting the plane that crashed with me in it? It was Dong something. Why? Jungkook felt a stab in his heart. Checking, no, Uncle Dong, he can't be dead. To be continued. So everyone, how was this episode? Comment it down. The truth is coming out, and it will be all clear in the next episode. Hope you will love it. So see you again in the next episode. Bye bye.